answers, but you can get clarity on how to be an answer.
Now, come on.
Yeah. Because you need direction for your next steps. Because like I said, there is another now that's about to emerge. Yeah. There's always a now. And there's going to be another now that's about to emerge. And you need to know what to do in that now.
I found, and this is one thing that I definitely do, especially after our last conversation, is when I find myself getting anxious, when I find myself worrying, I pause and I breathe. Because that's one thing that I can control. Mm-hmm. I can control my breath. Mm-hmm. And it runs parallel to like when I go to physical therapy and my physical therapist tells me there's no way that these exercises will work for you unless you breathe. Mm-hmm. We've forgotten to breathe.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Yes. Nothing works for you except that you breathe. You ever seen somebody get really frustrated though, but they'll get some clarity in the next moment because you know what they did? They'd be like, clarity. Right after that comes clarity because you took a deep breath. And if you can't think to do anything else, if you can't remember to do anything else, just remember to breathe. And the clarity will come. All the answers you need, even you as the answer, it will come to you. Easily and effortlessly. You don't have to. Sometimes I'm reading Eckhart Tolle's The Power of Now, and in there he talks about how we try to work on being, and it's not,
it's just be.
Yeah, being is not something you work towards. It's not something you have to practice. It's just something you are. So. And when you can just breathe, you can just be, You're not trying to, be impressive, win approval, get it right, be an ego, try to be perfect. In the moment that you accept yourself as you are, so will other people.
That's really good.
That's very good.
It blows my mind how these conversations flow without being scripted. And I've read Pam Grout's author Pam Grout, who
Think and Grow Rich.
That and she wrote Think and Grow Rich. She wrote E Squared and E Cubed as well. And I read those two, so I follow her blog. And this has been just resonating in me. The quote that she has at the beginning of this particular blog is, "Joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God." It's a sticky note. It's on Stephen Colbert's computer. But that thing arrests me. Joy is the most infallible sign of the presence of God. And you said it. I found my inner peace. I found my inner joy when I learned how to become present. But I want to take it further. When I learned how to become presence.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
It's a byproduct when you realize your connection and when your awareness of presence heightens. Which is why joy is completely different from happiness. Because happiness is based off of happenings.
Mm-hmm. It's contingent upon what's going on.
It's conditional.
It's conditional.
Yeah.
But joy is in the slap dab middle of what appears to be chaotic. Appears to be. You connect with presence and learn how to be in that moment. And then comes a peace. All these things are byproducts of present awareness.
Yeah. Because in that present awareness, what appears to be chaos, if you're in presence, you can see all of the benefit of what is happening, all of the good. You can, and that's what brings about the joy.
That's right.
Is that although this looks to be chaotic and tumultuous, somehow this is working out for me.
My highest good.
This is working for my highest good.
Right.
Right here, right now, everything is working out for me. No matter what this looks like. And that is what's called a shift in perspective.
A shift from naive realism to representative realism. So I've been big time on this naive realism thing, where naive realism, we're not talking about, naive in the pejorative term, like simple-minded, but naive as in, your truth is based off of what you've been exposed to, the perspective that you've been exposed to, when that's not necessarily it. Your truth is based off of that perspective without realizing that there are so many other perspectives of the same object that is in front of you. So, which is why, you and I could go through the same situation and come out two completely different ways. It's because based off of, if I'm a naive realist, then I only saw the storm as storm. I saw the rain as rain. But when you get into a realm of what we call representative realism, and you abandon naive realism, you go, oh, the rain was tumultuous, but that's exactly what I needed for these seeds to grow. If I had too much sun, then the sun would burn up the seeds, would dry out the ground. So you saw it as rain that washed everything away, and I saw it as the biggest gift. That's just an example.
No, I love it.
Yeah.
Because that means we get to choose our suffering.
Oh, air quotes.
Yeah, air quotes. Sorry, you guys couldn't see my air quotes. We get to choose our suffering based on how we choose to see it. You could see it as suffering, or you could see it as a multiplicity of goodness that's here to grow me and here to expand me and here to advance me. And despite the fact that it did not come in a way that I may have chosen for it to come, it's here, and it's here to prosper me.
Right.
And I am glad about it.
I'm glad about it.
Ergo, the joy I have, no matter where I'm standing in this present moment, I can always go within and I can grab that joy. It's not happening outside of me. No one is in control of that condition in my life, because it's not a conditional experience that I'm having.
The world didn't give it to you.
No, the world didn't. Preach in here then. Okay then.
Oh my gosh. This is just wondermous.
Yeah.
This is good. This is conversation that we all need to have. And I'm glad that we can facilitate it for you.
Absolutely. It's so nourishing. To us. Last time he was like, "Ooh, this is yummy."
Yes.
Delicious.
I love it when it's delicious.
Real tasty.
Yeah, it's nourishing because as we engage in this dialogue, it feels like, different parts of my being, of my soul are being awakened. Watered and awakened. Yeah. Like, like relief, you know?
Yeah.
That you're in the right place. You're at the right time. You just got to be present.
Just be present. Your storm, if that's what you want to call it, your storm could be not could be, but it's necessary for you. Probably one of the best things that ever happened. Your suffering, air quote,
yeah,
is working out for your highest good. So, like, it's gonna be. Now, it is the best thing that could ever happen to you right now.
Yeah.
It may not feel like it.
Yeah.
It may not appear that way. But we got to come up from behind these smoke screens and mirrors, all of that stuff.
Listen.
And, get to the real.
And just stop complaining about things that you invited into your path. Stop complaining about what you chose, about what you attracted. And then you keep watering it with more complaining. and resistance. I told my friend Deidre the other day, I said, the more we fight, the more we invite. You know?
Oh, wow.
So you keep complaining about your condition and how you feel and what you don't have, and I always tell this to my friends, that gratitude breeds abundance.
That's the truth.
Gratitude, I'm gonna say it again.
Say it again.
Gratitude breeds abundance, and if that is true, then it stands to reason that complaining begets more lack.
Correct.
So the more you complain about a thing, you invite more of that very same thing. Because the universe is not here trying to decipher exactly what you said. It's only deciphering the vibration you put out,
Correct.
the energy with which you said it, the passion with which you emitted it. So you'll invite that very same thing. And if you have that amount of power in your whole magnanimous being, you might as well use it for some gratitude.
Absolutely.
You know, and then you could have that eternal joy that we are speaking about. You know, because then you'll see the abundance coming into your life, and you won't be begging, you won't be beseeching, you'll be inviting
and saying thank you.
Okay. All right. Just have some gratitude.
Oh my God.
And you know, to our listening audience, we don't want you to be fooled into thinking that this is something that one day we just woke up and said, oh, well, I'm just going to be la 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 love and peace and happiness and joy no matter what. This is an everyday walk for every single one of us. Yeah. But we have committed to the process and we have committed to the principles because when you keep working them, they work.
Yeah.
The more present you become and the more aware you become, the more you begin to throw off and cast away the narrative that has been written to us by a society that's played with the suffering narrative. You know, and you'll realize that I don't have to subscribe to that. I can really live a life full of joy. I can really be at peace. I can really be even happy.
I can be in abundance.
I can be
everything. Anything that I once I decide, you know, it's my choice. It's my choice to be conscious or to be unconscious. And so this takes what Marion is saying here is that this takes.
Girl, you don't call me no Marion. You call me
Jamel. This takes. You don't try to bust my bubble on the podcast. That's fine. Jamel. But what it takes is a recommitment daily to consciousness.
Correct.
You know that you're ever surrendering in every moment. You're saying yes every step of the way.
That is true.
You know what is crazy? Like, you remember when you was growing up in church? Tell the Lord yes.
Come on, tell him yes.
Tell him yes.
Clap your hands real fast and tell him yes, Lord.
Yeah. But listen, I'm just messing around. What I'm saying, you know, it's really important that you constantly give that surrender and give that yes. And that's the only way that you can continue to invite present awareness and consciousness. Like, the moment you get into resistance and you start falling into familiarity of what you've always known, because you know that unlearning is that first step. Like, that's that hard part.
Yeah.
Is saying yes to the unfamiliar and no to everything that I thought I knew, and letting go of my ego because I have this need to be right, and you know, this is what I know, so that's got to be what it really is. And then all this flurry of new information starts to flood you, and you're like, this is uncomfortable. Yeah, no, I'm not here for it. Because this is going to challenge what I thought I knew and everything that I've been taught. And the yes gives permission to expand. And so always be willing to be committed to the yes in every moment, saying yes, and then that invites increasing awareness all the time.
I mean, let me tell y'all something. I'm the shit.
Oh my God, Becky.
You better know.
And I